What's up? Big Steve here, and we're back playing last Epoch, and I'm going to show you guys my minion build. It's mainly one minion that does all the work, but we got some mages in there. I'm going to show you guys how it works and the high damage it do put out. I'm surprised I don't see this build more often, but I'm going to go over a few things and we're going to dive right into it. So let's go. So if you're sick of Diablo 4 like me, last Epoch full release is coming soon, and I'm looking forward to it. When I play this game, I generally have fun. I like creating builds, I like trying out different things. You can do a lot in this game, so I'm looking forward to it. So we're going to jump into the items. For the helm, I went with the helm with summon bone golem, +1 to summon bone golem. I did use +3 to summon zombies because there was a build before, but it got nerfed. So you could change out the helmet. You could kind of go with what you want there. For the amulet, we went with death rattle, and the main reason for this, it gives 93% minion critical strike multiplier, and your minions take 27% increased damage, regain 30 health on minion death. The main reason to use this is for this critical strike multiplier, because we are going to be using the abomination, and just every hit he does is automatically a critical hit. For the armor, we went with the Titan Heart. Now the main reason why I went with this myself is for the 35% increased health, and I think that's pretty well it. 50% damage less taken while wielding a two-handed. Okay, also that, because we're using a two-hander. And for the weapon, we went with the lethal concentration, and the reason why we went with this is the percent increased minion damage, and that's pretty well it. Minions leech 8% of poison damage's health. That's if you're using any poison on your minions, which I don't think we are. For the ring, we went with ribbons of blood. And the main reason for this is 7% increased health, 3.6% of minion melee damage leached as health on hit, so your minions are leeching health, 25% minion increased leech rate, and melee physical damage from minions, so everything else is meh. And the belt, I still need to upgrade my belt, but the main reason I went with this belt was increased minion damage and 7% increased health. We also have another ring here with minion damage on it, minion health, minion critical strike multiplier, also more minion damage, more increased critical strike chance, and health. And then we went with the ambitions of an erased acolyte, and the reason we are using this for the +1 to acolyte skills, and when a nearby enemy or ally dies, you gain ward equal to 2% or 5% of its maximum health for 2-second cooldown. And for the boots, we went with the transient rest, and the reason why we go with this, you get a lot of resistances and you get movement speed. And for the gloves, we went with Raven's Rise. You get 25% increased minion movement speed. Having minion movement speed is good. It means they can get to the enemy faster and attack quicker and stuff like that. Minions take 26% less damage while moving. +2 to spell minion skills, and we also get some resistance, which is great overall. And that pretty well sums it up. For your totems, you can pretty well go with whatever you want. I've been fooling around with these. I mostly go with percent increased health, but do what you would like with that. Now I'm gonna quickly go over the skills. For your skeleton warrior guys, the main thing you want to do is get as many as you can and as many different ones as you can. So I think I have like archers, rogues, and skeleton warriors. So I can summon 9 altogether. I'll quickly show you guys that. Let's just hop over here. Gotta wait for the loading. Apologize. Sometimes it takes a second. All right, here we go. I'm gonna quickly show you how this works. And we only take the skeleton warriors for our abomination summon. So summon skeletons. So in the top left corner, you can see I have 9 total, and I have 3 different ones. I'm going to get into that a bit later. And For Shade, the main thing you want to take is like Lone Watcher. You want to come down here and take Grim Fate, and you want Egoism, and that's pretty well it. Some of the other ones you can kind of go your own way on it if you really wanted to. And for the mages, we're also going to get as many as we can. I think total is 4. We're also going to go with the ice mages because they can freeze enemies and slow them down. And we're also going to come over here and take Death's Calvary. And what this does is when you summon, it lets you take so many minions with you. Since we don't have a lot of minions, almost all of them are going to be with you when you do teleport. So anytime you go to summon a mage, you will teleport to that location. Now we also have the golem, and I went with golems with like health, and what they do every time that they hit, they restore health for you. And I also went with the cold golem. So, and this is another thing, as long as you have hunger and stuff like that to give you health back, you can go any way you want to with this. And then we're going to come over to Abomination, and we are going to take the Age of Undeath. What this does is you can now only consume minions from the summoned skeletons and mages. So before, if you didn't have this talent, you could use zombies, wraiths, golems to help form your abomination. But the pro with taking this talent is your abomination's health does not decay, right? Unless you have 6 or more minions. We're not going to have 6 or more, so our abomination will not lose health. So you want to take talents like Domination, and you want to take Engorgement. For every minion that's sacrificed, it increases your abomination's damage. And you also want to take Epicurean. And we also come over here and take the Quick and the Death, and that's pretty well it. And I'm going to show you guys some gameplay. So we have all of our skeletons up, 5 mages and 9 skeleton warrior dudes. And now we're going to sacrifice them and create our abomination. Now, as I was sacrificing them, I had talents, like every time your skeleton warrior dies, it has a chance to bring back another one. So the more of them you get when you're sacrificing, the stronger your abomination will be. But we're also going to use our golems, and we're going to use mages for the teleport. All right, now I'm going to quickly show you how strong the abomination is. And we're in corruption 187, so it's a little bit high, nothing too bad. The main thing with this build is you are going to want to watch out for any heavy damage, because we are squishy and we only have about almost 2,000 life, and we do not generate much ward. The key to this build is casting your Dread Shade onto your abomination, and this is the tricky part because sometimes it can be hard to cast it onto him. And I'll quickly show you guys some damage. 49,000, 56,000, 63,000. And like I said, depending on how many skeletons you get resummoned during your abomination process, the harder he will hit. After having some good ones, and he can constantly hit between like 80 to 100,000 damage, which is really strong. And you can also spec your abomination into like cleave, so he can hit more enemies. But I'm at a constant around 65,000. So, 71,000 there. Really strong build, like I said, but very squishy too. You do have to watch your placement and where things are coming from. But he just decimates everything. Jeez, my mages are dying pretty quick though. Got no mages up. It's good to have the mages up because they can freeze, which will get you out of a sticky situation. Because the Abomination mostly one-shots most things. But if there's a lot of enemies in one group, you do have to be careful. Damn, that's some big damage. And like I said, I usually do play with the cleave on the Abomination. You would be surprised. It helps a ton. But I went with a little more of a damage output for him today. So I missed my Dread Shade. He's still... Oh, no, hey, never mind. It got on him. So he's constantly hitting for like 60, 70, sometimes 50k. And this is what you call a lazy build. You just teleport. Look, all the minions come with you. Pretty simple build overall. It's one of my favorite builds because this is how minion builds are supposed to be. You're supposed to, like, once you get stuff figured out and get some decent items, you're supposed to be able to just let your minions do the work. Simple. Well, that's it for today, guys. Hit the subscribe. Can't wait for the full release of Last Epoch. Think it's going to be a ton of fun. But that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.